to Bourbon and Badges, the podcast, season 6, episode 22. Rod and Ada
Double
here,
deuce.
along with Steve, the Rainbow Warrior, Doby
Who put that
Dawg,
on my screen? Was that from last week?
and Hound Dog. Yeah, it's still there. It's still there.
I don't know. They
You
changed
gotta
it up a
explain to
little
our
bit.
listeners if we have like one new listener.
We have little sayings underneath our names. And today somebody typed in, or I think this was a while ago. It's just, I guess it's stuck.
No,
I'd say it's stuck, huh, guys?
I think you typed it in because you try to blame me, try to throw me under the bus.
Yeah, a
for
few
it.
weeks ago though. It's been there.
Oh
a while,
yeah,
right?
just didn't take it down. Yeah,
Yeah.
we can see that, but now if you're watching us on YouTube, you can't see it. Of course, if you're on the listening side, you can't see it.
Now, how did I become the turtle lover instead of hound dog? That's kind of, that's his gig.
Yeah, I don't know. And Hound Dog's got the welcome to the jungle. I like that,
I do like it. I do like
Yeah.
that hound dog.
But here we are again, folks, and a lot of stuff going on, guys. A lot of stuff. Last episode, as you remember, we were taking drinks every time I dropped an F-bomb, so I don't think we should
We're
do
not.
that
We're not going to do
tonight.
that tonight.
No.
Yeah, that's pretty well lit.
I've realized that I've got a potty mouth, so we're not going to do that every time. We can't take it. So we're just going to go with sipping as we do, and I decided to just go with a Russell. It's 10-year.
10-year, yeah.
Yeah.
Good old rye
Nice.
whiskey.
Yep. So it's good. It's
That's
been
made
over
by
there.
what, Wild Turkey, right?
Yeah.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Russell's was distiller there at Wild Turkey.
Yeah.
Benchmark, single barrel.
Very nice.
Nice.
H. Taylor small batch.
Man, Hound Dog. Yeah, you say you found that just here recently?
Yeah, I got it where I work at a couple weeks
Can't
ago.
go wrong with the H. Taylor. Yeah.
No, that's my favorite pour. The single small batch.
Had a couple weeks and well, there's that much left.
Oh, yeah, that's my favorite pour. If you can find anywhere, man, it comes in a cylinder. It really makes a
Yeah, it
nice
does.
gift, Hound Dog.
Mm-hmm.
If
I gotta
with
get-
that cylinder.
Hang on a minute. I gotta
Shoot out
do it
mountain
for you.
gift.
Well, yeah, we have one liquor store for the whole county, and we're so small, it's hard for us to get allocated whiskey up here. But now I'm just right across the state line. I actually walk through the woods, walking to Tennessee, but
Hey, y'all
I'm
know
to
on
Tennessee and hope fun stuff.
those little round button things you put on the back of your phone, got like a little
Yeah.
handle.
Oh,
Yeah, you kind of hook your fingers in it.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I actually, my wife went online and found one. I said, that's got Slow Ride written all over it. So here you go.
Oh, wow. He's on a unicorn.
Bigfoot
that
on a
Bigfoot?
unicorn. Yeah.
That would go with your rainbow tattoo.
Hey, let me tell you, I hate I
His
didn't,
tramp stamp.
I hate I
His
didn't,
rainbow flag.
I
Yeah.
hate I didn't get it free for the show. But I ordered a Bigfoot throw. Like you cover up with like watch TV or whatever with.
Yeah.
It's got Bigfoot all over it, man. I'm gonna hang it from the banister up here. You guys see it. I got crap hanging from the banister. I'm gonna hang it from there.
Oh,
Cool.
nice.
All right, man. So before police, if you're just listening before police, 120 years of experience. If you have anything you want to ask us about, tell us about it. To hear about from us, man, we are here. We are uncensored, unfiltered, uncensored.
We got to let Doby Dawg come out with what he's, the Dope
Yeah.
Store.
Oh
what he's
yeah, we're
drinking.
getting way ahead of stuff. All right, go ahead, Dobby.
It's all right. It's called Black Patch Bourbon Whiskey. It is bottled and distilled in Madison, Alabama. It is a 90 proof bourbon. Little background to it. The guy that owns it, his name is Cooper, Gary Cooper. His son was a big
It was
bourbon
an actor,
guy.
right?
Yeah.
That too. So his son was in a combat unit, and their combat unit had one single black patch. So his son lost his leg in combat,
Oh.
and when he came back, this is the bourbon, Black Patch Bourbon, that was kind of in honor and memory of his son and the guys in his unit. So
Okay.
No,
that's
Now,
all
is
for
that-
them.
Is that easy to get, or is that like just your area? do you
It's
think,
my
or-
area. I don't know if you can get it anywhere else. I think Hound Dog said he saw it somewhere.
no, I
You
read
said-
about it on the internet.
Read it. It's made
Yeah.
here, so I don't know how much you can get out of state or not, but
Yeah.
it's probably 30 minutes from the house.
Okay.
Well, give us a nose it for us and give us a profile and give us a taste
This
profile.
is caramel, vanilla, and hint of spice and dark fruit. Taste of caramel, toffee, and vanilla. Subtle
okay.
spices with a hint of dark fruit.
What do you think about it when you taste it? Does it get a little bite to it? Is it just straight up pretty smooth, or what? How's the finish? Whatever.
Pretty smooth, a little burn, but I mean not much. It's smooth. It is very
What's the
smooth.
proof? What's the proof?
90.
90. Okay. So
All
not
right,
too bad.
1 to 10. 7's a daily drinker.
I'd say if you're excluding the availability, I'd say 7.5 to 8.
Oh, so it is daily drink. You drink that every
Yeah,
day.
I
That'd be
would,
your
I
regular
would.
food.
What's the price point? What's the price point on it?
About $45.
Okay.
Okay. It's good.
It's not bad. They actually have they got a lot of different options. They've got a rye whiskey. They've got a cinnamon. They got several different things, but the bourbon was kind of what kicked it all off in like 2007.
Okay.
So
Nice.
to the Wounded
Yeah.
Warriors.
Heck yeah, dude.
Yep.
It's Black Patch.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. Okay. Here we go to your drinking.
Bourbon
again.
and Badger's Cup. Nice. Oh, yeah.
You know, Slow's gonna have a Maker's Mark sticker on his cup before it's long.
Hey, speaking of that,
mean
Maker's
Knob
Mark.
Creek?
I mean, Knob Creek
Make 'em
down, Doby.
You
Hey,
got
I'm
Maker's
dog.
Mark on the brain,
I
Doby
do,
Dawg.
don't I?
Yeah, he does.
Knobs Creek.
What is
They got Knobs Creek stickers.
Yeah.
Like
now
NASCAR.
who's getting kicked back from the distillery?
Yeah, really.
Hound
Sounds
Dog.
like
This coming year, our barrel is maturing. Correct? 2025.
Yeah, man. It should be. It should. Yeah, I think so. In 2025.
We need to look into that. And what we're talking about is, give me a background, Hound Dog.
So if you go on the Maker's Mark website, you don't have to have this. Don't cost anything. You just go in there and fill out some information, become a Maker's Mark ambassador, and they'll send you this nice little packet with all kinds of has business cards and tells about the distillery and everything. And you can also put your name on a barrel of Maker's Mark, and when it comes to maturity, which takes anywhere from 5 to 7 years, they'll send you a notification. You have to actually physically go to the distillery. You can buy up to 9 bottles of the barrel that has your name on it. And just so happens, 6 years ago, Slow and I were talking, and we both went on there unknowing that we went on at the same time, and both of our names are on the same barrel.
That same barrel, yeah.
That's
Oh,
cool.
okay. That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
we
a
didn't know
road
that at
trip
the
right
time.
there.
That's definitely a road trip. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So it should be coming available next year, I think.
Yeah, for some reason I was thinking about that earlier today, man, out in the yard. It hit me. This barrel should be about ready to.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
pretty cool. I didn't realize you did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good
Yeah.
shit. It's good shit.
Well, there you go.
All right.
You guys need to
Maker's
catch up.
Mark,
Step with the
not
times.
Knobs Creek.
So,
yeah,
so we
I
can go
need
up there
to
and get some of that Knob Creek Maker's Mark stuff.
Oh yeah, it's in our pre-podcast meeting.
That knobby
Doby
trace.
Dawg at our
That Buffalo
Knobby.
Maker and that knobby trace.
he has Maker's Mark on the brain.
I couldn't get that right. Say my ass.
All right. Well, guys.
You know what we didn't have though during our pre-podcast meeting. We're kind of rushed, I guess. I think Rodney wants the ball game, but we did not have a pre-podcast poll. We didn't have a PPP.
Maybe you didn't. But I
Speak for
did.
yourself.
Yeah.
I wasn't invited to the party, evidently.
You can actually do
late
a
to the party.
PPP solo. We do that a lot.
Yeah.
I was sitting here waiting for you guys to sign on for about 15 minutes, so I
He
had
was
a
just
few
late
PPPs.
for the party.
Well, I tell you guys, I took a little nap, then took a shower just for the podcast, so I am ready to go.
Okay, well, you better have Johnny on the spot with those fucking buttons, because I'm telling you what, sometimes it's just
I'm gonna push the button.
you live
tonight,
up to your
bro.
name slow, you know. How about hitting the button slow? Slow. Let me find the button.
He's been known to push some buttons, right, Hell
Oh, yeah, he's pushed mine many a times.
But all right, well, listen, guys. There's the pour.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot going on. I think we should just touch on the. Can we touch on the second assassination attempt?
Good grief. What about that? The second one.
Dude, this is getting
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Hey, what's your personal opinion? You think it's domestic or you think it's foreign backed? You know, Iran wants them dead.
Right.
Wants
Well,
Trump
the
dead,
thing that
President
makes
Trump.
it think that it could be something overseas is the first attempt in Butler. He had 3 encrypted accounts overseas. A 20-year-old nobody.
That we
Right.
still
3
don't know anything about.
Right. They still haven't told us anything about. I bet you they know every
Oh,
freaking thing about
100%.
it. but they haven't
Oh
done
yeah, you know they
Right.
do.
Yeah.
It's
And
like
now
we was
this
talking
guy-
on the pre-podcast. That is that's just that's a sticking point. There's no way they don't know what's on this phone. There's
Exactly
no
right.
way. No way.
And now this new guy, not to jump too far ahead, but this guy seems to be basically broke as shit, doesn't work, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yet he's able to travel to Ukraine, Taiwan,
Yeah.
and all these other places, stirring up all this shit. And how does he do that? Who's bankrolling him is going to be
Oh
my
yeah,
question.
he's
at the
not
end of
fitting
the
that
day.
bill himself.
Right.
Right.
And then just to set this up a little bit, guys, if you read the story, apparently his cell phone pinged in that area where he was set up to assassinate Trump for 12 hours. He was sitting in that spot with 2 backpacks with food in it, with tiles.
Now,
which
this
wa-
this is the first assassination, right?
second.
Attempted. This is the second.
This is the
okay,
second one.
I was
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to make sure I'm
First
keeping
one,
up. The
first one
second
was
attempt.
First one was Butler when the guy was on the roof, right?
Yes, all right.
And the
All right,
agents were in the house. That was a total clusterfuck, right? This guy was just pulled right up to the fence line where reporters are known to go to take pictures of Trump golfing because it's a little bit cleared and it's a known spot. So when agents are out there looking around, they look at that spot just to even see if there's reporters there. And that's what they do. Because a lot of people are wondering how the agent spotted this guy. But anyway, his phone pinged there for about 12 hours. I don't know how he could be sitting there for 12 hours and no one knows he's there. His truck was parked up on the road somewhere. I'm not sure in view or out of view.
Yeah.
But he had food, a whole setup, rifle, a AK-47 with a scope on it. He was about 300 to 500 yards from the president when they engaged him. But the president was coming around to the other hole, going to be up there. But the agents were a hole ahead, or they usually, they usually do a hole or two ahead and kind of look around. And this one agent, who I guess, Trump's giving him credit, and I guess I'll give him credit too. He was checking out the hole that Trump was going to go to and saw the rifle barrel sticking out of the fence. Now, if you guys know, if this is the fence, the barrel is sticking out of the fence, and Trump's over here, right? So the barrel's sticking out like this. Professional snipers would have the barrel back here,
they shoot
not
within the
sticking
room.
through the fence. Right. Doby can talk about this better than me because Doby was a big old sniper dude in policing. But because you can see the barrel, and that's exactly what happened. That's what outed him. The barrel was coming through the fence.
Well, thanks, Rod Nader, for giving them the clues. Now, next time they're not going to stick it through the fence.
Hey, if you're going to fucking shoot somebody, do it right. You know what I mean? Have your shit together.
Now, who's the liberal now? You want President Trump shot?
I'm
Give
not
them
liberal.
clues.
I'm violent as hell as usual. I ain't changed my spots. The same. Killing's
There
killing.
was a. I did see one picture where it was a still frame picture, but it was basically the view from behind the fence. What the sniper would have seen once Trump got to the hole.
Right.
He was on top of it.
Sure. But anyway, so Secret Service guy sees it, and they don't hesitate this time. This guy just starts loading rounds downfield towards the fence. Bad guy, his name is Stoop. I think his last name's Stoop, Stoupe, something like that. Gets in his Nissan Xterra, takes off. But according to the story, a lady passing by saw him rushing from the woods into that truck and thought it was really odd what he was doing. So she pulls up behind him and gets a picture with her phone of his tag in the vehicle and calls the police and reports it. Hey, I just saw a vehicle. And if it wasn't for her, they wouldn't have caught him because he got all the way to the next county. Mm-hmm. And he was caught at the next county. And that's where they took him down.
You know where he's from, right?
Yeah, Greensboro.
He spent time in Hawaii, California, North Carolina. I mean, he's been everywhere.
Greensboro.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you see pictures of that cat? Man, he's out there. He is
out there.
He looked like he stuck his finger in the electrical outlet or something.
56, 57 years old, divorced guy. Apparently, he's a real weird. How did he live in Hawaii? He's got no money. Like, how do you move? How does he move to all these places and get these a plane trip from Hawaii to North Carolina or California? Like, who's bankrolling this? That's what I want to know. Like,
and they
where's
never
this
said
money
anything about
coming
him
from?
having a job at all, did they?
No,
it's not. He ain't bankrolling it. Somebody else is.
That's exactly
But,
right.
like you said earlier about going to flying to Ukraine and over.
Yeah. Yep.
You know,
and
other
the thing that makes me weary is the first one as well. Is questions about how did that kid defeat everybody? He's 20 years old, a freaking whack job, 20 years old. Who gave him all the information to do this? Who looked the other way? How did he get on that? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And now this one, and it seems like each one, just another little tidbit. The debate happened, and then the first assassination attempt happened within a week or two. The second debate happened, and then within a few days, the second attempt. Yeah. Again, so I don't know. Just a couple things I'm noticing and stuff. Don't know if it means anything. Don't know if they're connected or not. But I tell you what, these two guys are the last two guys I would think would have any success at all with this kind of stuff. And that 20-year-old almost got the job done. He missed it by a half an inch.
Yeah. If you go back and look at Oswald, he wasn't that squared away either.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't that squared away. But he had a lot to do with Russia. He was into Russia. He liked communism. He wanted to be he wanted to be Russian.
He's
He
part
was
of the
one of those
Communist
kind
Party of America.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And you don't have to be great. I mean, you know, the kid, the 20-year-old, had been to a shooting range. You know, his father got him, you know, the gun. I mean, if you have help, you can do it. You know, anybody. And, you know, with a scope on, Dobe, you know better than anybody. You could shoot pretty damn good. Anybody can with a scope. With a gun that's on a tripod or something, you know.
Yeah,
And
you're on a
it's
tripod prone out 140 yards is a piece of cake.
It's nothing. Yeah. Yeah. So, and you know, a lot of these rifles, guys, am I right? After 800 yards, right? I mean, what's the limit on one of them? Like 600 yards? You could do that, right?
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Easy,
W,
easy.
Yeah.
what was that long shot we had at our we have at our range?
We used to
on
have
the
a
backside?
300. I think that gives out to 6. I think 600.
Yeah,
I think. I know it's 300 at least. Because back in the day, we would go across the Rankin Lake over to the corner, and that was 3. And I'm pretty sure that far side's 6.
Yeah, is that where? Is that what you're talking about on
600
top
yards.
of that storage containers? Was
Yeah,
the
I believe
setup
that's
point?
600. I believe that's 600 yards.
Yeah, yeah. We
You talking about the range at Gastonia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, you think about like a sniper qualifying, they're gonna like we would qualify at 100 yards, and you know, 3-shot group shooting 3 to see how you know make sure your mechanics and you're doing everything the same. 3-shot group covering it with a dime or nickels, nothing for those boys.
Well, I tell you what was cool. Now, when I was on SWAT, we went to Fort Bragg, and a couple of the days that we're there, we're training. The snipers are training. Now we're downrange in a concrete trench, and the way it works is, you know, the target's on like a little hinge arm. You pull it down, and we would put the target on and put it back up,
Right.
and then you hear it hit the paper. Then you hear.
You're so
You
far out
gotta
of
pull
that
the rifle
traveling
way
sight.
a long time after you hit the paper. Because that's pretty cool, man.
So
it's
to
like
wrap
saying
that
that
up in a nutshell, 140 yards is nothing. Especially if you're laying prone, you're stable. You don't have to worry
what's
about
that
the weight of
saying?
your head.
If you heard the shot, it wasn't for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
true. Because man, you hit that paper way before you
The
ever
lights
pulled
just
the
go
rifle.
out. The
Pretty
lights
cool.
just go out. You don't hear
And the
anything.
thing about even at that range, the penetration and the ballistic capabilities and the energy that's generated is still way past. Way past.
Oh, a lot of science,
being
man. So much
efficient.
science in that stuff. It's so cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because my deer rifle's 200 yards dead on. So I mean, and that's just a Winchester rifle with a hunt scope. That's nothing fancy high tech.
Yeah, yeah. But so this guy, second shot, guys, and apparently now we talked about this during the pre-podcast meeting. They finally gave President Trump full presidential security, as if he was already president again because of the second attempt, which I think
Oh yeah.
good on him. You know, I
Good
can't
move,
complain
yeah.
about that. That he needs it.
Should have been a little bit earlier, I think.
Should have been done a little bit earlier. He's the most hated, one of the most hated. And I'll tell you what, guys, it's so funny. The party of tolerance, the Democrat Party, right? The party of tolerance. If they'd stop shooting people, man, that'd probably the school shootings. Trump. If they'd stop shooting people, gun crimes would probably go down.
Well, the shootings in all the Democrat cities too. Democrat run cities.
Look at
is off the
Chicago, which we're
friggin'
going to
chain.
talk about in a little while. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I just thought I'd throw it in there. It's like it's so.
Well, yeah, it's not like we're talking political. We're talking this is actually
Facts.
stuff happening, and this
Just
just
facts.
happened to be
Look
happening
at-
in the democratically ran
Look
cities.
how run down Baltimore's become over the years since it's Democrat. Because Maryland's such a heavy Democratic state. Baltimore is awful.
It's terrible. And I've spent a good bit of time in Baltimore at a hospital with my daughter back in the day. It's a dump. And I hate to say that. I mean, I hate to say it about any city. San Francisco used to be the beautiful city. It's still, when I rode out there in 2022 on the bike, beautiful city. The bridge, Golden Gate Bridge. I mean, beautiful. But my God, you get to the wrong place, and there's just, oh my God, tent cities. And I mean, the difference between the Hollywood section and like Beverly Hills is like you can see Beverly Hills. You can see the houses on the hills. And then you're sitting here next to a guy taking a shit on the fucking sidewalk,
Yeah.
down in, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. But anyway, so yeah, I just thought we'd mention that. So hopefully now everything will calm down a little bit, but we still got a little bit of time for the election. So I don't
What
really-
are your thoughts? You think it's going to happen again?
I hope not. Honestly.
Wonder. My thoughts are how many. What if everything got in place to happen in the past, and it fell through, and we just never knew it.
Very
I'm not saying
possible.
the feds don't know it or Secret
Right.
Service don't know it, but us as the public don't know it.
Well,
And I
I'll
can see
tell
the
you-
reason why behind a lot of stuff why we don't. In the investigations, you don't release everything out because when somebody comes forward and tells you something that wasn't released to the public,
Then
you
you
know
know
they
the part.
they actually know part of
They're
it.
legit, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
The
And
thing
you
that
know,
worries me, if they are
So I'm not saying it's a
connected,
bad thing.
yeah, if they are connected, then that means they're running out of time to get rid of him before the election.
And this is another-
That could lead to it. That could mean there could be something. But if it's not connected, then who knows?
Well,
whether
they
the
need to
wacko
hurry up
truck-
because he's liable to hurt somebody's feelings again.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell
Yeah.
you what.
We
one
can't
thing-
have that.
Don't want to piss off no snowflakes.
One thing's for sure, though, if he wins, which I hope he does, these people that have been fucking with him the whole time, that he is not going to, his heads are going to roll.
Oh.
And he'll have to. He'll have to just to stay safe himself because
Not
somebody's
only
gonna,
have to, but enforce the law, which has not been enforced for the last 3.5 years.
Right.
Just make it equal. Not talking about revenge.
Just
talking
equal.
about prosecuting people who deserve it for what they've done this year, like the Mayorkas leaving the border open and disobeying federal law, like that, like all these guys, like Merrick Garland, who's only prosecuting. He'll prosecute everybody on January 6th, but he prosecutes nobody during the 2020 riots where people died and billions of dollars.
Well,
in
Rod
damage
News,
was done.
those were peaceful riots. They said so on
Mostly
TV.
peaceful. I saw the pictures.
Ask Tim Moss.
Yeah, the city burning in the background, the guys was mostly peaceful.
Mostly peaceful, and it was literally a city burning in the background.
Yeah.
As
It's
he wore a
mostly
bulletproof
peaceful here.
vest.
Yeah, and everybody's like, what the hell's going on?
Oh, with,
Yeah, and what we talked about on one of our podcasts, the most expensive riot ever, next to Rodney King, was the first, and that one eclipsed it by billions. I mean, it is crazy. And Tim Walz, vice president running with Kamala, was in charge of Minnesota. Minneapolis, one of the places that was the center. That and Seattle were decimated with that stuff because they just
and
let
voting
they
for
let-
Harris
Yeah.
is the same thing as these riots. I don't understand that these people riot. They're destroying their stuff within
things.
within their little community.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Now-
When you burn that drugstore down on the corner, and it's
Your
a mom and pop
drugstore.
drugstore, yeah,
Yeah.
it's your drugstore. So when you want to go down and get a bag of chips and a freaking drink, and it's not there anymore, don't bitch because you lit the fucking match, idiot.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, the thing about it is a lot of that there was
Exactly.
outside influence. So it wasn't actual people who lived there. They came in
Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
you got all the stuff fired.
Yeah,
up.
it's been about-
well, people inflamed it, and
But
but
same,
then got
same
the
thing
locals
about
go.
people going.
Yeah.
I hate talking about politics, but same thing about voting for Harris. You know, people vote. They're not voting for Harris. They're voting against Trump because Trump hurts people's feelings. He does.
Yeah.
Can he do a
You're
better
right.
job? Well, most certainly can. Do I support everything he says and the way he acts? No, I don't. But
And
man,
like
as far as the economy running the United
Like
States,
I tell people, they say,
it was never better.
Who do you like, Trump or Harris? I don't know. I never meet either one of them. Whose policies do I like, and who am I going to vote for, policy-wise? Trump. And I tell the policy. Boom, 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 boom.
Too many
And I
people don't even know the policies.
And you know why I know he's going to do that? Because he did it
before.
when he
Did
was
it last
president
time.
before.
Yeah.
That's all I need to know. My life was better when he was in office. I want.
Yeah, and I've had
turn the
friends
page.
up here say that X and Y is going to happen if he gets to. It's going to be terrible if he becomes president. That's going to happen. I said, well, he's a president for 4 years. Did it happen then?
The best saying I heard was, if Trump was going to destroy the country, start World War III, and be a dictator, he would have already done it when he was in office.
Yeah.
Right.
And if Kamala Harris was going to save the country and make everything great like she says she was, she would have
Should've
already
done
done
it 3
it. 'Cause
years
she's
ago.
already in office.
The thing about it is,
Right,
we will
she's
be
in
in
office
World
right now.
War III
Yeah.
if he doesn't get elected because Harris is not going to stand up to China, to stand up to North Korea, and she's not going to do it.
I saw a clip the other day, and it was someone who's attended a Trump rally in Long Island or New York, wherever it was that day, and the guy's a firefighter, and he made a good. He put it very well. He said, "If your house is over here burning down, and your family and your kids and your wife are in there, and the house is engulfed, and you need somebody to save your kids, but this guy across the street can save your kids, but you don't like his tweets, and you don't like his hair, and you don't like he's mean." But he's willing to come over and save your kids. Are you going to tell him no?
True.
Yeah.
True.
Good way
Sure.
to put it.
Yep. And just one last thing, guys. Can I mention something before we get off this? Because I know this is kind of politics.
What? Whoa, back up. You asked before you spoke?
I'm trying. I'm being nice.
I'm going to have a drink
being
on that
nice.
one, boys. That's never happened before.
I'm being nice. But I forgot about this. We didn't even discuss this during the pre-podcast pour. What about Israel and the pagers?
Oh, how does that even happen?
God, dude.
And then the radios.
I know the whole thing. You ready? I'll do
Yeah.
it really
Yeah.
quick. Israel didn't intercept pagers and do shit to them. They created their own shell company and started making pagers years ago. They were able to get the Hezbollah account. Hezbollah actually had Israel unbeknownst to them, making their pagers for them.
That's interesting.
So couple that. Listen to how genius this is, whether you like them or not. How genius it is, because they wanted Israel to be more targeted. You're killing too many civilians. So how much more fucking targeted can you get than you take the terrorist pagers that are going to be given directly to terrorists, wearing them on their waist or on their shirt, or when they're reading it, it's going to be right in their face and blowing those motherfuckers up. How much more targeted can you? And so they got the pagers. They actually handed it out to everybody, including their upper echelon of leadership, including the leader in Iran, who runs them, who's not in Hezbollah, but he runs them. In total, there's probably 800. There was like 34, 35 dead, killed, and one of them is
genius is that?
One of them was in second command, but total 3,500 killed, injured, wounded, dicks blown off, faces blown off, hands blown off. Can you imagine targeting a military force with that kind of accuracy? You can't.
Hey, not only that. Think of the secondary wave of things. Now they're scared to death of all their electronics.
Because then they went to the walkie-talkies, and then they started blowing up. And you know what Israel said next? They said, best you release our hostages, and we come to some kind of agreement, because we haven't even begun.
Well, I tell you, I'd be scared sitting on a toilet if I was them.
Can you imagine? After
Talk about blowing up a toilet.
After the first 100 or so, those pagers went off. Somebody said, "Oh, I got to take a shit." And all of a sudden, beep, 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 beep,
say that again.
They said that they would. They said that they activated all of them at 3:30 p.m.
Hey,
and the pages would go off and go beep 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 for 6 or 7 seconds beforehand to give them time.
Oh, it's a countdown.
Oh yeah,
and look at it and look at the screen or whatever. And I saw one live video. Did you see the video of the guy in the store?
Yeah.
He's shopping for produce, and all of a sudden his side blows off. And
I saw that.
Oh, man.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, I said, look, my pager's going off. Look, what does F you mean? Boom. Well, good for Israel.
Or get ready to meet Allah.
Yep. Yeah. And you know, it's funny too, because the liberals are still saying how barbaric that was and all this.
That is genius.
You wanted it more precise so it doesn't hurt children and women and men, just the enemy. How do you get more precise than that? They gave the pages out to their soldiers.
And you shut down their whole network for how long, I don't know, but you shut it down.
They are crippled. Mm-hmm. 35. That's 3,500 or so, 4,000 guys.
All right, so we're 28 minutes in this podcast, and I guess everybody knows that the four of us support Trump, and we're behind Israel.
You got to after October 7th. I mean, just Jesus Christ! They're surrounded by a billion people who hate them, and they're just trying to survive on an island. On an island that's smaller than New Jersey. I mean, give me a break. I mean,
I really wouldn't want Israel mad at me.
No, I'm glad they're on our side. They're really strong.
Yeah, God's on their side. I mean, it's God's army.
Absolutely.
Everything started there and everything ends there, according to my belief. So yeah,
they're not afraid to fight because they've been doing it since they started.
Hell yeah.
Well, talk about killing people, man. Go us a scoop on this sheriff and the judge.
Ooh. Okay, we're flipping the script, folks. We're going straight to law enforcement shit now. This is a wild story. Politics. Hound Dog's got it, I think, right, buddy?
Yeah, I got this sheriff right here. You can see him.
Mm-hmm.
He had a meeting with.
What county? What state?
That is, and of course I do not have my damn glasses on. It's in
Kentucky. I know that.
Hang on a minute. Thank you.
We don't want dead air, folks. So for your listening enjoyment.
All right.
Letcher County.
I said dead air. Go ahead.
Letcher County, Kentucky.
All right.
Anyway,
proceed, sir.
From what I can gather, the sheriff that I just showed you, his last name is Steins, Sheriff Sean Steins. He walks into Judge Mullins'
Chambers.
What do you call it? Chambers, yeah. And he goes up and said, "Hey, I need to talk to the judge a minute." If I'm not mistaken, they were going to have so let's go out to eat lunch together. So this is Judge Mullins.
It was.
Former Judge Mullins.
Yeah.
Well, they get into some type of an argument, and next thing you know, the people outside hear multiple gunshots. and the sheriff Steins, he comes out, Judge Chambers, hands up, and he gets placed into custody shortly thereafter for killing, first-degree murder on Judge Mullins.
Okay, now that's wild. People are wondering what the hell is the reasoning behind the killing. What was the motive?
I've heard a couple things. One,
What have you heard?
Well, one that I've heard, I think everybody's heard this, that the judge was romantically involved with the sheriff's 15 or 16-year-old daughter.
Right, which technically would be a rape charge because a 15-year-old can't consent to sex with a adult. But yep, I heard that too. That's the one I heard. Now, I haven't heard any others, so you tell me.
Yeah, I heard that the sheriff was already under investigation through they had to do some depositions for one of his deputies was having inappropriate relations with several different women I think it was in the judge's chambers.
Good grief! They get any work done in this county?
It sounds like they get work done, but it's not the kind of work we need.
They're doing something all right.
Doing something all right.
But they, but the guy that was they charged.
Hey, it's a whole new me going to court and getting screwed, huh?
Yeah, talk about getting screwed in the courtroom.
The deputy that did all this stuff, he was charged and convicted, and got sentenced, I think, 6 months in jail for rape, I think. And
the deputy who was having the shenanigans in the judge's chambers with multiple women, I guess.
Yes,
okay.
yes. He got charged. I think it was rape. He got charged with or sexual misconduct or whatever it is in that
sexual
state.
assault, something like that. Right?
Yeah, and the judge knew about it, but chose to do. I mean, the sheriff supposedly knew about it and chose to do nothing about it.
Why would he kill the judge over that, though? It sounds more likely he would kill the judge over someone messing with his daughter.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I would pick choice A. Yeah.
That's just the two things that I've read up on a little bit.
And let's stage for this as well. People may ask, how can this happen? Other than a federal facility, and especially in your own county, if you're the sheriff in that county, you're going to be able to go into the courthouse armed.
Well, sheriff has full run of all courthouses in their county.
He's the most powerful law enforcement person in the county.
Basically, his office.
Yeah, his office is probably in the courthouse.
It runs the courthouse, runs the security. His deputy.
Oh, exactly right. Yeah. So he could come and go at will, lawfully, with his weapon.
Right.
But doing something to somebody's child can drive people to do things like that. And now both things can be true, Hound Dog.
Yeah,
I mean, they both can be true.
Yeah.
And maybe a little both. But I think the daughter would have drove
and all
him
this
over
is
the edge.
alleged, right? So we're.
Yeah, all this is alleged.
Not the shooting. He shot him, right? We know that.
Oh yeah, he's shot him and he's dead.
Yeah, but the allegations on why he did it, the motive is still kind of in the air.
Yeah.
We're kind of segueing from that into y'all all probably remember this. I want to say it was in the 80s maybe. There was a guy, I want to say in New Orleans, and they had charged his scout leader, troop leader, or something, karate teacher or something, with sexual assault on his son. And they were extraditing him back.
I saw it at airport.
Send in a payphone.
I saw it.
He comes up and pops him. And they don't charge him. I mean, I think they if I remember correctly, his claim
they
was
acquitted
that
him.
Acquitted him.
Yeah.
I want to say he said he was so distraught over it, he wasn't in his right frame of mind, and he smoked him.
So folks, there's a clear video, and you can even Google it. I'm not sure what you would punch in, but it was at an airport. It was a karate teacher, martial arts teacher. It was sexually assaulting this gentleman's son, and he acted like he was on a payphone. Obviously, this was in the 80s, so payphones were still around. He's on the phone with his back turned as the two detectives are flanking each side of the suspect. Each guy has an arm, and they're walking him. He's handcuffed, and they're walking him right by the payphones where the guy's back is turned. And as they're just about to pass, he turns around, shoots the guy, turns back around, hangs up the phone, and they tackle him and take him in. And he killed the guy who was assaulting the son, and he was acquitted. Back then, people said, "Hey, we understand."
Yeah.
You know? And they let him
leave
go.
our babies alone.
Yep, they let him go.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'd ever see that again today, right now, because everybody's so into this. I don't know, but that's justice served in a lot of ways.
There was never a
Yeah.
recurring offense, that's for sure.
He wasn't a repeat offender, and we're not paying for him to be in prison either. So, and his son didn't have to go through a trial, getting on the stand and having to testify on what this monster did to him, which is another whole facet of torturing a victim.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting on this particular case to see what the outcome is, see what I mean, what the reasoning was behind.
I'm very interested now. I'm going
And
to
I
follow
tell you,
that.
if you sit through any of that, it's brutal. It's brutal what the
Yeah.
defense attorney puts the witness through, because
Yes.
they're going to make them look like to be a liar. If it's a rape
Yeah.
thing, they'll make them look like. If it's a woman, make them look like they're a whore, a prostitute, a liar.
Right.
Right.
Women have it the worst because they try to make them look like they're promiscuous and that they do this and their sex life and this and that. If it's a little kid, it's a little bit tougher. But I'll tell you what, they pull no punches, and it can be brutal. It can be brutal. You got to have a good
all
prosecutor.
for the sake of some scumbag.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to have a
Yeah.
good prosecutor who's going to object and do the proper things. But
True.
anyway, that was a good bring up, Doby. I forgot about that. That's classic. I'd never forget that video.
Way to go, Double D.
Hell yeah. That was
Way to add
awesome.
something
Yeah.
to the program.
Yeah.
Yeah, Knobs Creek, all the way.
Bringing shit to the table. Maker's knob. Yeah.
Maker's Knob
So,
or Buffalo Creek.
Buffalo Creek, yeah. That's a good one. Buffalo Creek. So,
There actually is a Buffalo Creek in Cleveland County.
Yes,
Yeah.
there is.
Well, and there's a Knob Creek right across state line here in Johnson City.
Really?
Knob Creek runs through there. Yeah, runs through
Wow.
okay.
That's cool.
Yeah, if
Listen,
I wasn't a
you
popo
never-
I am, I actually thought about stealing that sign. Hanging it here in the studio, but
Hey, I'm in here, yeah. You might as well just hang it behind you so that way you don't have to keep
So you
holding
just-
up a bottle every once in a while.
What's
So you
that
just
button,
ratted
Steve?
yourself out.
What's your
yeah, if one
surfboard
goes
button?
missing, it wasn't me.
You go here and knock at your door, stick slow.
Oh yeah. It'd be
So,
instead of FBI, I'd be like, knock on the door, give me a drink.
Yeah. So you guys want to move on and talk a little bit about, I mean, the glaring, the border issue, of course, is big. And I just read something. Doby Dawg sent me a little bit. Doby, you want to touch on it? You want me to run with it? It's the Chicago gangs.
You can
And,
start, and I'll chime in.
Hey,
Okay.
can I set the foreground for this right quick?
Absolutely. I'm glad you asked. Thank you for
You
asking.
know, I sleep in. I sleep about 10 o'clock. But
Right.
especially the day of the podcast, in most days, the texts start about 7:30, 8 o'clock. About what we
No,
might
they
talk
didn't-
about, just what's
They
going
didn't
on.
start
current
about
events.
that. They didn't start that time today, did they?
No,
Or
I
did
didn't.
it?
I just
It's,
started.
I tell you, it's to the point. I sit there, I'll get up and I'll look, and I'll hit silent for our group chat till I get up and I'll look at it.
Yeah. Slow basically said he says fuck him when he's going to go to sleep. That's what he's saying, folks. He turns the
That's
phone
exactly
off.
what I said. He said, "Screw y'all."
That's exactly right.
Hey, you got to have
He said,
priorities.
Knobs Creek is paying his salary. He doesn't care.
So
It's because of Knob Creek why I have to sleep in the next day.
that's right. That's right. So, folks, he took a nap and he's unprepared. So, anyway, we'll tell him all about it. Just like we're going to let you know.
Yeah, I'm totally refreshed, man. Nap and shower, I am refreshed. I am
Oh, you
ready
look
to go.
refreshed. Yeah, that's fantastic.
I ain't put on a clean shirt. It smells good and everything.
There you go. So anyway, the border issue we're having with everybody coming across and migrants here and there, and rumors of them doing things in Ohio and certain delicacies they're choosing to eat and stuff. But so Chicago, as we've talked about on the show, I don't know how many times, with their huge gun problem. And I've talked about the site Jackass Chicago, where you can go on there and see how many shootings there are every day, every week, every month.
Isn't that crazy?
It keeps the tally, and it's all true, but it's a joke now. Like that's just Chicago, and people have accepted, because you remember Beetlejuice, the old mayor, the female with the with the
Yeah.
goofy looking eyes, she looked like Beetlejuice, right? Well, she didn't do anything about it, and now this new guy Johnson's not doing anything about it. Well, now they have even another problem. So take the Chicago gangs and all the shootings they have now, and add in a Venezuelan migrant gang, and I'm sure you've heard the name. They're called the what are this? I forget the name. La Tren. Yes. The Tren de Agua. It's a Venezuelan gang of immigrants who have moved into Chicago.
And they're very
Just-
violent. Very
just like they
violent
would-
gang.
Yeah, we're talking about, a Venezuelan gang, I guess equal to about the Crips and the Bloods here. Like that's crime, prostitution, drugs, and killing. Like they do it all. Well, they're having to share space now in Chicago with the Chicago gangs, the Bloods, the Crips, and the usuals up there. And it's funny, but it's not funny. But cops will find it funny because we have a weird sense of humor. To hear gang people complaining about other gangs in their territory.
Yeah.
And let me just start with a quote from this article, okay? They
This is a self-correcting problem. Go ahead.
yeah, they interviewed a gang member who's a local, meaning one of the usual gang members there, who's murdering, raping.
An American gang member.
An American
He's
member.
American.
gang members have rights.
Who deserves to play? Who deserves to be here? He's born. He's born here. He can rape and rob and pillage here. Okay, we're good with that. But so he comes in and he says this is a literal quote from him. He says that these guys come here, and he told me the things that go on. He helps them get a car. They help them get a car, an apartment, an EBT card, and all this other stuff. They're giving them thousands of dollars, the Venezuelan gang, and we maybe only get $400 a month.
The government.
Yeah, the government gives the Venezuelan people thousands, but they're only giving me, who's here robbing and raping, but I'm born here, $400 a month.
Robbing and raping on a budget.
And this kid and this gangbanger's going, and they ain't even got social security numbers, so he's bitching about the same things we are. Like it's incredible.
You know what
he wants the right to have his turf. And victimize people, and I think we ought to give it to him. I mean,
well, yeah, what it is, that's what I said.
He's got a point.
He is robbing and raping on a budget.
Exactly. It's cheaper for us to keep him at 400 than these Venezuelans at 1,000.
Hey,
we're losing money, fellas.
He's going to have to raise the price of his dope because
oh my god!
So the cost of crack's going to go up.
That's unbelievable. So they started interviewing some other people, and one of the local gang guys who did 20 years in the federal penitentiary, who's now part of a peaceful type of program that tries to get the gangs to stop. He says when this thing lights up and kicks off,
it's gonna be bad.
Nothing's going to stop it. It's going to be war in the streets of Chicago, and the police ain't going to be able to do shit about it.
It's like it's not already like that.
Right, but imagine that. All the shootings they already have, right. Could you imagine? He says it's going to be something like you've never seen because these Venezuelan gangs are not intimidated, don't care. They got guns. The Crips got guns. They don't mind killing each other, and they're going to do just that. And it's coming.
All the cops are going to do is pick up the pieces.
That's right.
And not to go back around, they realize the government's going to be very soft on the crime.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Well, but what's going to end up happening is there's going to be dead bodies all over the place. And the pressure from that, the government's going to have to do something eventually because these problems they create and they let go on in order to let migrants in here is always going to come to a head because whether you can't afford them, you have nowhere to put them, or they start doing crime, something has to give because they're human beings and they can't survive here without money. And if they can't get a job and they can't get the handout they need, they're going to do crime. They're setting us up for failure. Does that make sense?
And this one
something's got to. You're exactly right.
Something's got to get.
One gang member even made the comment. He said, "We're getting arrested and they're not."
Yeah, he said we still get arrested as usual. That's a good point, Doby. He said we still get arrested as usual, and they don't. I'm like, what? Yeah. I guess
even
if you're illegal,
if they arrest him and get out.
Hey, you know why? Because he has gang privilege.
Yeah, not white privilege. He's got Venezuelan gang privilege.
Yeah, that's right.
But he'll bond out, and then it's where he'll see him again. Because like that other article I sent you about the one in I think it's Miami, the car stolen car.
Yeah,
that was a migrant who the guy said he had been in New York before. And kind of going back to what I was telling you about, there's a guy goes into Starbucks, and I believe it was Miami, one of the big Florida cities. He goes in, gets his bagel and his latte or whatever, comes back in. He has a Corvette, and this migrant gets in his car to steal the car. Yeah. And there's a video on Fox News of it. So he gets in to steal the car, but it's electric, so you can't start it without the key fob. And he gets locked in the car. So when the owner comes back, the thief is still sitting in the car, and he's begging the owner to let him out. And he's like, "No, I'm calling police." So he gets locked up, and they said he was a migrant, and he had been living in New York, but now he's down there, and he gets locked in the car and can't get out.
That's funny.
That was on Fox News yesterday. He was a migrant too.
Just to let you know, I just looked up the totals of the homicides in Chicago for year-to-date 2024, 455.
Good.
Oh, man. Yeah, I just pulled up. And, folks, this is what it looks like. Hey, Jackass Chicago. Like, it kind of...
Yeah, that's the
It kind of has categories. It has categories of graphs.
So tell our listeners, Rod, how do you find that app? What do you do?
I typed in, hey, H-E-Y, like, hey, yo. The guy was hey, Jackass, Jackass, Chicago. Hey, Jackass Chicago. It's right at the top there.
Yeah.
Hey, Jackass Chicago. And the screen will come up. And it's got all the stats. It's got graphs. It shows where they get shot. Like it'll tell you how many people got shot in the groin. Like it's kind of funny, but it's real. Like here's a stat: a person is shot every 2 hours and 46 minutes, and a person is murdered every 13 minutes and 59 seconds. Like they have all these things. And then here's a picture of the body where people are getting shot. They have stars on them. Can you guys?
Yeah, it's got a map of everywhere they're shot at.
Yeah, it shows that. Yeah, and then here's the big map of all the counties in Chicago and all that. Where they're, I mean, it's a great site, but it's kind of like people look at it and go, "Oh, that's funny," but it's all true.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
It's actual stats, and it's not funny. It's
and
really
you know,
not.
Rod, we all know that as law enforcement, you know what Chicago has always been like. It's always been that anomaly that's just.
Well, it can't be, guys, because they have a zero gun policy, right?
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
So
it can't be that
nobody-
way because it's unlawful to have a gun inside the city of
Democrat
Chicago.
liberal city.
And we
This
know
right
what
here,
it's
though,
like.
Funny,
So-
Slow. This right here, though, shows that 88% of the deaths are gunshot, 12% other.
So I can't
Look at
imagine
that
having
graph.
because this is against the law to have a gun in
So,
Chicago.
Knowing
know.
what we know, you could only imagine what it's going to be like if those Venezuelan gangs and those Chicago gangs clash.
Right.
Well, I
There's
know
no-
one thing. Now, where's these Haitians at?
Lookout Mountain, Shootout Mountain.
Shoot that mountain. Look at that.
They're heading to Shootout Mountain looking for
I'm
that
not
duck
looking
in
for
your
that.
pond.
I'm looking for a bird.
They're looking for that duck
Yeah,
in your
they're
pond.
gonna go get
They
my
heard there was
bird.
some good eating up there.
You're going to get my duck.
Oh, funny,
shit.
good stuff. Yeah,
We'll be
there's
scared
a-
to find some empty taco shells down out by the pond. The duck's gone.
That's right. Yeah, all of a sudden you just see feathers, you know.
Yeah, duck tacos.
Anyway, pretty sad, but yeah, Chicago's having a problem. You know, the Venezuelan gang, also the same gang, has moved into Colorado. Some of those apartment buildings, we talked about that a couple weeks ago. Remember, they moved into a couple of public housings, and they're actually going door to door with rifles and guns, collecting rent, saying they're the new management, and the people in
Yeah.
there feel like they're prisoners. And it's really good. And of course, the mayor saying it's not true and it's not happening. Yet we have videos on X and all these other things of them walking through the halls.
There's a
with
shit
guns,
ton of
knocking-
videos of that happening.
Oh my God, yeah, it's everywhere. I tell you what, guys, if it wasn't for Elon Musk and X, we wouldn't have half the information we have. Not even a quarter. He just lets things go and lets people just post. And it's not like a creative video. It's somebody with a freaking phone looking out their door, showing these guys at the door across the hall with guns, banging on it with the butts of the guns, you know, ARs and all this. And
Yep.
I mean, it's insane. It's insane. But yeah, but the Haitians are in Springfield, Ohio, slow, and apparently, you know what they are alleging there, that they're eating some of the pets around, some of the ducks in the pond and stuff. And just to let you guys know, I always go a little deeper. So I went ahead and Googled Haitians, right? And I said Haitians, and I put in cats. And you know what I found?
A good recipe.
I found, among other things, I found out that they actually really think a lot of cats, almost as mystical creatures, and they've been used in different types of ceremonies in Haiti.
Really?
And that was just a Google search. That's not. I wasn't told that. I went on the phone and just Googled it, and to see some of the voodoo religion.
Oh,
in
that's
Haiti,
very much Haitian.
they use cats. They use cats as sacrifice because the cat's 9 lives. They think drinking the blood will give them some kind of, and they do. In Haiti, they do this. I'm not saying they're doing it in Springfield, Ohio. So YouTube, don't ban us. I'm not saying that, but that's the allegation. And I looked it up just to take it a step further, and it is in their history. It is linked to them a little bit back in Haiti. With the religion,
Wow.
the voodoo religion. Anyway,
That's interesting.
It is.
Speaking of voodoo, did y'all ever deal with anybody that had a root bag?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, man!
Yes.
You remember that hound dog?
Oh,
What was
yeah.
we won't say the first name. The family last name was Adams.
Yeah.
Good
Morticia,
gosh!
Yeah.
I tell you, we
And
done a raid at a
Gomez.
house.
Lurch.
Opened
Yeah.
up in those bags,
Cousin
and I
It.
promise you, these guys are in a corner, huddled up together, scared to shaking when I opened that bag up.
Really?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
And it was fun just to just watch them shake in the corner.
What was in the bag? Like, what's the theory? Tell us what the.
It smelled
behind
like cinnamon, looked like sawdust stuff. Had
What
a
was it
burnt,
to them though? Why were they afraid
Had a
of it?
burnt quarter in it. I don't
What
know.
was it?
It's
It
just
wasn't
some kind
protected
of
from the
voodoo
police
type
because it was
stuff.
all over.
Yeah.
Why were they carrying it? Was it a protection or was it something like
protection, and they can throw a spell on you? They want to throw the root on you.
Oh, it was like a bag of spells and shit.
Keep
Yeah,
the police away.
Keep the roots off of them. Yeah.
Yeah, keep the
They carried
police
them on
away.
person. They carried a big one underneath their seat and had a horseshoe in that one. Part of it they kept underneath their seat of the car.
Horseshoe. Oh,
Yeah, it had a horseshoe. In it.
Man, you get one of those damn root bags and you cut one of them things open, man, it's like, holy
Oh, it's scary.
shit.
Yeah, so they're
They're
sitting there
terrified of it.
physically shaking.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Because I remember
See?
I
That's
dealt
how
with one time, and I did it on like 5 or 6 years. And we're down off of Spencer or somewhere, in Gastonia. One of the rookies with me, this lady was talking some off-the-wall shit, and it was me and a rookie and Doc Morton, and sergeant, and he's like,
Good old Doc.
she's like, that's her root bag, and he said, yep, and this rookie's like, what's that? I said, just come on, let's go. And I started explaining to him. He's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
He was scared shitless.
Usually the root bags, they can be this small, real small, or really big. And I can remember one time, because you don't know what, they say it's a root bag, it could be a bag of dope. You don't know.
Oh yeah, you got to look.
You got to look.
Until you cut it open. Boy, once you cut it open, well, they're,
Is it like burlap or is it what kind of bag is it?
the ones that I've come in contact with is burlap.
Yeah,
Or
that's
like
what the
burlap.
ones I have dealt with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's the problem, especially in Springfield, Ohio. All kidding aside, there's an influx of 20,000 or so of these Haitian immigrants there, and that's a lot of people for a town of 60,000. That's a
Yeah.
third.
Yeah.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and take all the cat and dog shit out of it. The social services overwhelmed. The hospitals
couldn't imagine.
overwhelmed.
Oh,
Calls
yeah.
for service for us guys up there overwhelmed because there's a third more people there and they don't blend.
That are utilizing
They
the
don't
resources.
blend. Right, and they don't blend those. So they don't have our traditions, our customs yet. They're just, where are they living? Like they just drop them in there. They don't have money. Like they have nothing. They're just dropped there, and then they have to get resources, and that taxes everything. And it just dropping them into New York City is one thing. 9 million people, right? 20,000. You probably absorb them, right? Well, they are absorbing them, but they're a lot more than that. But when you do it somewhere like Springfield, why Springfield? I know it's Ohio. It's a battleground state, but if you want to think it that way, which I kind of do. But 20,000 in a town of 60, that's a big deal, guys.
Oh, yeah.
That's like
It creates more disruption.
that's putting if there's
Yeah.
3 people in a room, that's like putting another person in that room. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's a third. So I can understand why the people and the customs are different and they act different. I mean, I've been to Haiti, guys. It ain't Springfield, Ohio. I've been to Haiti. I've been to downtown Haiti. I've seen the thousands of cats. Everybody's riding a moped, and there's guys with ARs on every corner. I've been to Haiti. It ain't
And
Springfield, Ohio.
you wait till it gets cold, because they're not going to stay outside in Ohio.
No.
They're not used to that. They'll be inside somewhere. And you'll have much more break-ins.
Yep.
That'll
Or
go
tent cities and fires and stuff. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. Because you think about their culture, they're used to being 90, 100 degrees. They get in there when it's 20 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
gonna
sure
be
they're-
complete.
That's
shock
on a
to
good
them.
day, man. Up there, it gets
Yeah,
to the minuses.
I'm sure they're
Up there.
anti-cold. I'm sure they're just like,
Yeah.
people who are in Alaska are probably anti-hot. You
Right.
get in these
They'll come
areas.
see you, hound dog, down at the coast. So it's nice and
Come
so
on.
they say nice and toasty.
Yeah, they can lay on the beach
Yeah.
with but they might try to eat them damn turtles, though, man. We can't have that
yeah,
going
we can't
on.
have
Oh,
that.
yeah, you
turtle
can't have
soup.
that. Yeah, turtle soup.
no.
Reggie
They
might
will
clash with
invite
the
a couple
ladies.
of them down there now.
They'll clash with the old ladies with the red
They will.
vegetables. They'll
You
be out there
son
with the
of a bitch.
pokers.
That's the thing too. They're all dressed like the turtle ladies are a gang. They're all dressed alike.
Yeah, they got
Yeah.
orange shirts on.
You got the Bloods and the Venezuelan gang up here, but you got the Haitians and the turtle ladies down here going at it. It's a bloodbath, you know.
Oh,
Reggie's
Gentlemen, we are
that's funny.
54 minutes in this podcast.
Hound dog's going to just sit back
A
and
lot of
take it all in.
topics.
Yeah. We've
A lot
been
of topics
jumping
covered.
around.
Anything
but
else
it's
you guys
fun.
want to? Anything else you want to cover?
I got one
Oh.
more quick snippet on the funny side. It is law enforcement. So San Francisco has decided to work on their pedestrian problem of pedestrian getting hit by motor vehicles. So they do this basically a sting, undercover surveillance type operation. And they have an officer. There's a video, or you can pull it up. It was on Police One on Fox. But the officer's dressed up in a full-blown big giant chicken suit.
It's
So
quite
his job-
ingenious, actually.
It is kind of, so his job is to kind of, I guess, skirt the limits and try to cross the street. And they put him in this big chicken costume, so they will see him and he probably will get run over. So if anybody doesn't stop for pedestrians, they get a ticket. It's a big giant chicken. So what'd you put on your resume? I dressed up as a giant chicken and jaywalk.
Do you know how long I've been trying to work that little soundbite into the podcast?
Yeah.
Good job.
All
All right, Doby, I'm slightly confused here. So they had a cop in a chicken outfit,
Right.
and he would cross the road.
It's on Fox. Yeah, this pretty much
The chicken that crossed the road, is that what you got there? Yeah. I think I heard a joke like that once.
Yeah, really.
So
Now the cop in the chicken outfit was crossing the road, or was he watching people cross the road?
he was standing across the road.
The question is, why did the cop in the chicken outfit cross the road?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
now
what I
we
want to
know.
know, Rod.
Yeah, that's
There had to be a donut or coffee shop over there.
of course,
To get
there's a
pedestrians.
donut. That's the joke. Of course, there was a fucking there was a Dunkin' Donuts across there.
I was framed. Y'all set me up.
Hey, I got one other thing on a little serious note. 5 minutes? Am I good? 4 minutes?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir,
man,
man.
knock yourself out.
We had an officer shot tonight, just coming in. Serious note. So apparently, officers responded to an ADW
Where's
call
this at, Rod Nader?
in Charlotte, Mecklenburg Police in Charlotte, North Carolina, my old department. ADW, assault with a deadly weapon call. Officers responded. Suspect discharged a firearm there. I'm not sure about the injuries on site, but then he took off in a car. Officers performed a traffic stop on the suspect vehicle. Suspect came out firing shots. Think about this, folks. Traffic stop. Guy just comes right out, just blasting through your windshield. One officer hit in the legs. He was able to return fire, hit the suspect, dropped him. Suspect life-threatening injuries. Officer shot in the leg, but stable. Both transported to hospital, and that's where I'm at right about now. So
wow.
if we could just.
So after the day of the taping of this show, which is the September 22nd.
Yeah, that is correct.
What part of town was it on, Rod?
What's that?
What part of town was it on?
It was over in. 1 second here, buddy. It was West Side. It was West Side, but I'm trying to think of. I got like Nations Ford and Arrowwood. Okay. Nations Ford Road in Arrowwood.
Yeah.
Over to West Side.
Yep.
The old place I used to be a sergeant at, yeah.
Okay.
But folks, just a reminder, these traffic stops, you see these videos of people not complying, and you're like, well, why is the officer got to be so aggressive? Why is this you just never know who's in the car,
Oh, yeah,
guys.
you're right.
You just never know who's in the car. The tinted windows, you're stopping a guy. When a regular officer like Hound Dog was for so long, knocks on a door, he doesn't know what's on the other side of that door.
We actually called him irregular.
Irregular. You don't know what's on the other side of that door. You just don't. Even SWAT, like Dobe and Steve did, Slow did. They have floor plans. They have an idea who's in the house. They have an idea on weapons. They're suited up. They're ready to go. Regular patrol officers are knocking on doors, responding to calls. And I know when I was, you guys tell me if I'm wrong, we had a guy call the police once, and we couldn't respond because we were so busy. So, long story short, he ended up coming out of his house butt naked because he was high on methamphetamine and angel dust, and he ran us around Central Avenue in Charlotte naked. Black guy, looked like he played for the 49ers, like he was just an incredible athletic looking dude. He got on top of a police car when we finally got him stopped and deadlifted the lights off the top of the police car, pulled them off the top of the car.
Oh, wow. Gosh.
Snatched the side mirror off the car like this. Snatched the side mirror off the car like this and just threw it off. We finally sprayed him and hosed him down, which barely worked. And then he took a stick on his own, and inserted it in his own anus and looked at us and goes, "Oh, that feels so good."
Holy crap.
We finally, you know how he got him? He was running down the street like
Yeah,
a
stick up
freaking
his
track
ass.
star.
Yeah.
He took it back out. He was running down the street like a track star, turned around and looked to see how far back we were because we had to follow in a car. And he ran right into a road sign and knocked the fucking shit out of himself. Bang! And he just fell back, and we dogpiled him, which was nasty because he was sweating. But that guy had called us to execute us. He was
That's
calling
crazy.
us to the apartment to kill cops. And we didn't
Really?
respond because we were so busy.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
what
then
was
the
wrong
ne-
with him? I stick up his ass.
Yeah, but first time he ever smoked marijuana, it was laced with angel dust.
Holy
Drove
crap.
He was
Well,
an
you never
army.
know.
He was Army vet, one of those guys. And the next day, when he got out and clear of his charges, he moved across the country. He was so embarrassed because he's never done a thing wrong in his life. That was the first thing.
I bet he took that stick with him.
I bet he did. I bet it's hanging on his wall somewhere going, first, this is the first
It's hanging
year.
somewhere.
Y'all don't have to tag it for evidence, did you?
Oh, he was hanging, all right. Yeah.
Hey, you ought to have tagged that stick for evidence, did you?
Yeah, right?
Put it in the property.
Glove up, yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so just, folks, just give cops a break, man. We don't know.
Yeah, and here too, we treat everybody the same because we could be stopping somebody for just running a red light, or say you got a tail light out, and maybe we're stopping you to say, you got a tail light out, and we don't know that guy just robbed a convenience store. We don't know it.
And
like
he
I say,
thinks he's
comes
getting
out
stopped.
Yeah, because
He
of
thinks
the
he's getting
convenience
stopped
store
because he's
thing.
robbed the store, so he's
Yeah.
ready to kill you.
Yeah.
You don't even know.
So we got to treat that headlight out just like we would stopping, just
Yeah.
anything else too. So,
And folks, if you're just nice,
points.
just roll down your window and say, "Officer, what can I do for you? What did I do wrong?" And most of the time, it's a pleasant conversation. And have a nice day. Just be more careful.
Just comply and comply and be nice. That's all you got to do.
Here's all you got to say, officer, you're right, I'm wrong, here with driver's license registration.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
If you,
Or
ever disagree
if you
with
don't-
it, if you disagree with it, take it out in court.
Just go to
Yep.
court.
Yep.
Just
If you
keep
get a
it-
ticket, odds are you might not even get a ticket.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because you know, how many people we stopped that didn't give tickets to?
Oh,
Wait,
yeah,
oh,
we
yeah.
talked about this
Oh, yeah.
before.
We ain't gonna
90% of the
give
people I wrote a
tickets.
ticket to talked themselves into the ticket.
Yep.
Yep.
We are
Absolutely.
61 minutes into this podcast, gentlemen. Need the last thoughts.
Yeah, one thing I want to say. September 22nd, 1989, Hurricane Hugo came to Gastonia. That's today.
Ooh,
35 years
Really?
ago today. Yes.
Oh, Hugo.
Yep, I was working, and it was a hell of a damn night.
Hell yeah.
Night.
Oh,
They for like 2 weeks. We were intersections, 2 officers at a time, working 12. We all work 12-hour shifts. They
You said that was
recalled-
89, right?
1989.
Yeah, you
guess
could-
where I was?
In preschool.
A cake party at a college. We were getting ripped.
I was in college, yeah.
Yeah, Slow and I was out there working the down streets.
I was a
Hey,
sophomore.
12-hour shifts. They recalled all
yeah.
vacation time. Everybody had to work. You worked, 2 weeks straight, 12-hour
Oh,
shift
yeah,
days,
yeah.
breaking traffic
Yeah.
stuff. No power anywhere.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
I'm
And
in
I was actually-
Sellenberg. I'm in Sellenberg, North Carolina, at a field training officer school, and they kept us there and sent all the coastal guys home because they thought it was going to hit the coast, but actually turned and came up through Charlotte, Gastonia.
Yeah. And I tell you that I was lucky enough to live in the same, I guess, electronic grid as the hospital. And my power was on the very next morning.
Oh wow!
So I was extremely lucky.
That's a
on that
plus
part.
to be on the same grid as a hospital.
Because
Yeah.
my parents lived at Huntersville at the time, and I was at Gardner Webb at the time, so they went for like 2 weeks without.
Yep.
Hey, I just want to, hey, here's to the officer shot. Hope you're getting better,
Yeah,
buddy.
man.
Yeah. Get well soon,
Leg
brother.
injury, suspect,
Right.
kiss my ass. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? guys?
prayers to
That's right.
the officer and his family,
Yeah.
and
And fuck you to the suspect.
Exactly.
Correct.
Exactly.
That's all I got, guys. Everybody good?
Yeah, man.
Good.
All right, we're about 102. Producer, we got to run this shit show. Let's end it.
all right,
Run it
man.
over.
Sound like I just lost my job as producer.
Hey, that'd be a good job. That'd be a good title for a damn podcast, a shit show.
Shit show. Sometimes we
We'd
can
have
just
to-
rename it.
It has happened. Yeah, we used to
Use it every
do.
week.
Hey, we
Use it every week.
yeah, we was all together in one podcast. Actually, studio back in Gastonia, we was all there together.
Yeah.
We always try to have a after party podcast.
At
the
the podcast
after
party.
podcast. Yeah, and it was always we could never release it. It was
We're
just
too
terrible.
drunk.
It's, yeah, it's
Yeah.
just ridiculous.
Yep.
All right, be sure to drink responsibly. Again, ladies and gentlemen out there, kids, listen to us. The kids shouldn't be listening to us, but if they are, we're all at home. We drink. Where nobody's going anywhere. We don't drink and drive. We don't support drinking and driving.
Right.
If you need
And-
help, call somebody.
As always, let's drink about it and drink responsibly again, like Slow Ride said.
Yeah, if you like what you seen or like what you heard, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We need the love. We need all the subscribers we can possibly get. A lot of our listeners do not subscribe. Maybe just hit the subscribe button. That's all you do one time, and we appreciate it. Tell your aunts,
Yeah.
uncles, friends, Haitians, tell everybody.
Cats and dogs.
Cats, Venezuelan
Cats and
gang
dogs.
members.
Yeah, well, you still got them. Go ahead and tell them.
Love on your cats and dogs, folks. Never
And
know
all
when
you-
they'll be gone.
And all you first responders, please be careful. Make it home to your families.
It's been a Studio 77 production. Pow. You mean it's over? Well, shit.